Today I'm going to present Wi-Fi technology. First of all, we all know about the Wi-Fi technology. Let me say the outline of this entire presentation is what is Wi-Fi, history of Wi-Fi, and how light able to transmit the data, how Wi-Fi works, advantages of Wi-Fi, limitations of Wi-Fi, and the conclusion. And first, coming to Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi, what is Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi stands for the light fidelity. Fidelity in the sense usage. Okay, whereas Wi-Fi stands for the wireless fidelity. Okay, as of all, we know that we are using Wi-Fi in our daily life. In fact, Wi-Fi is become part of our life. And Wi-Fi is a wireless technology which uses radio frequency for its communication, and it transfers through the wall, through walls, and even through solid objects. And as we come to know Wi-Fi, it is also a wireless technology, but it uses light to transmit data. And in technical terms, Wi-Fi is a light communication system that is capable of transmitting data, and it can transmit the data over visible light, ultraviolet, and infrared spectrums. And present time we are using LED lamps for the transmission of visible light, that is the data. And coming to history of Wi-Fi, Professor Harald has coined the term Wi-Fi, and he proposed the fact that the data can be transmitted even through light. And he has given a demo in 2011, and he's the professor of mobile communications at the University of Edinburgh, and the co-founder of Pure Wi-Fi along with Dr. Mustafa Afghani. And in the year 2011, he has given a demo to prove that light can be used for the communication. Okay, what he did in the demo, in the sense, in the HD screen, he arranged a screen, and he transmitted a HD video in that by the light, by the flickering of light actually. Uh, First, a question may raise that how light able to transmit the data. Actually, the first thing is that light is the part of electromagnetic spectrum, which has a frequency which ranges between 790 terahertz to 405 terahertz, which is almost 10,000 times better than radio frequency. Whereas radio frequency ranges between gigahertz only. Terahertz is the 2 power 10 times of gigahertz. So it is 10,000 times better than the radio frequency. So hence we can say that light is 10,000 times faster than the radio communication. So light can transfer huge amount of data. Actually, the main thing is that when we switch on the light starts to flicker. Flicker in the sense, the light will continuously on and off. Actually, the flickering cannot be observed with our naked eyes, but we can feel it. We can feel the going on and off of the light. When we observe the light, continuously with our naked eye, we may just sense a little amount of it. Actually, so by that flickering, we are able to transfer the data, and it is used for the communication too. So when it comes to radio frequency versus light frequency, in daily life we use televisions, and we control the televisions with remotes. So when the remote, any key on the remote, uh, the data will be transferred as binary code. That means in the binary language means it consists of zeros and ones. So whatever the key we press in in our remote, infrared waves will be working so as to transfer the data in the binary code. Um, and I have to say that when we use the remote control for television, the data stream is only one data stream. We are able to see only one data stream. Where if we use the light, the data stream will be multiple, because light has some intensity, and it can transfer more amount of data because it has more frequency, that is in the terahertz. Okay. So actually, how Wi-Fi works. So when we come so as of now we know that light can able to transfer the data, the light can able to transfer the data in our desired format. So when let us say our computer or any device that is placed under a light source, and just if when we switch on the light source, say LED, as of now we are using LEDs most. When we switch on the LED light, uh, there is a flickering of the LED light. So when flickering in the sense on and off. So when the light is on, when the in the process of flickering, when the light is on, it sends the digit 1, and when the light is off in the flickering, it sends the digit 0. as uh, as LED is flickering, it is possible to transfer huge data. Hence, all that requires to work with Li-Fi is some LEDs and a controller that codes into those LEDs. So actually, how Li-Fi works in the sense, this is the whole frame how Li-Fi works. So here is a server and here is internet. From the server we may gather the data, and from internet we may connect to the server. So these both are connected, and streaming content is let me say an Ethernet cable. An Ethernet cable is connected to the lamp driver, and which first requires power for running, obviously, and that lamp driver is connected to the LED lamp. After LED lamp, the okay, the light and the intensity of the light falls on the device. When it falls on the particular device, the detector and amplification and processing, etc., may happens, and it receives the app data, and that app data is transferred to our respective device with a cable which is connected in real time. How this circuit is visible in the sense, this is how it looks. First we have a LED light, and it is the connector in which here is a connection. This is the Ethernet cable connection, which which connects us to the internet. And by connecting this Ethernet cable, uh, first we will connect this Ethernet cable, and it is connected to the ceiling, which is by the side of LED lamp. First when the when the Ethernet is connected to the connector, and it is connected to the LED. And when we switch on the LED light, the data starts to flow. So um, actually, a question may rise that I have a device and I'm working under the light. What happens if I switch one more light? So what happens if I switch one more light, in the sense the other light also starts to flicker? There might be a confusion in the data which flows into my device. So as to control this, they have invented that a receiver. This receiver is particularly associates to a respective LED light. Once a receiver is associated to respective light, it just receives the binary code from the flickering of that particular light only. It don't cares of other light, and don't cares for the other lights or whatever the other lights are. So the receiver is connected in such a way under the LED light, and this is connected through a cable, and we are able to browse the data. This is the steps involved in the data transmission by Li-Fi. So what are the advantages of Li-Fi? In the sense, we can say that Li-Fi is hack free. Why? Because as Wi-Fi uses radio frequency, it may passes through the walls. So if anyone wants to hack our Wi-Fi or enter into our system, they may just hack the Wi-Fi and enters into our system. But it does not works with Wi-Fi, because we may get the data only under the light. So what happens in the sense, if anyone outside, okay, who are not under the light, they cannot access. So as they cannot access it, they cannot hack it. If anyone under the light can hack it, what solution comes, I don't know. So, and we can also say that it is eco-friendly. Eco-friendly in the sense, as it does not uses radio frequency, It uses only light frequency. It is eco-friendly as it doesn't enter into our atmosphere, I can say, and data transfer speed. As compared to Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi has huge data speed. Wi-Fi has the data speed Mbps, MBs per second, whereas Wi-Fi has the data speed approximately GBs per second, GBps. It can give more speed. And the other thing to say is the intensity of light doesn't affect the speed of the network. Whatever happens, if the light is more intensity or less intensity, the data doesn't affect, because the intensity cannot alter the flickering of light. So that's how the the speed of the data is doesn't get affected. And as it is mostly powered by LEDs, it is cost efficient, we can say. And limitations Li-Fi are, Li-Fi doesn't work in the dark because to transfer the data, flickering of light is mandatory. If we are in the dark, we don't on the light and it is not able to transfer the data. As of now, the other thing to say that is phones doesn't support Wi-Fi, because when we come to Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi is connected to our mobile because a chip is arranged in the design of our phone. But no such chips are arranged in our phone so that Wi-Fi may support to our mobile. But we may connect the Wi-Fi to our devices through receiver cable, which I showed in the previous slide. And the other thing is it can't pass through the walls. Um, One more advantage I forgot to say that is as it is hack free, we can also say that it is secure. That means no unauthorized users can enter into our data. Okay, coming to limitations, it can't pass through the walls. As it can't pass through the walls, we cannot send our data to the person who are sitting in the other room or some other place. And to connect with Wi-Fi, and the device must be stayed under the LED light which is connected with Wi-Fi. And if we move away from that LED light, the Wi-Fi doesn't work. And coming to coverage distance, Wi-Fi covers 10 meters, whereas Wi-Fi covers 30 meters approximately. And to stay connected with Wi-Fi, the whole ceiling should have LED bulbs, such that how the user may continuously access Wi-Fi in the sense while he walking, he is under one light. He receives the data. While if he moves to other light, the Wi-Fi must switch on and off when the person is moving. That's how Wi-Fi is connected. And applications of Wi-Fi are Wi-Fi used in live streamings like conferences, concerts, birthday parties, wedding parties, etc. Because as it can transfer huge amount of data at single throw, it is very useful for live streaming. And in hospitals, in workplaces like industry, software industries, etc., software offices, and in schools, aeroplanes, airports. And one thing to say that when we are traveling in the aeroplane, they may ask us to switch off or put our mobile in aeroplane mode. But as if we deal with the Wi-Fi, um, lights are arranged in the flight that they are connected with Wi-Fi. We are sitting under that particular light, and we may access the data. And the advantage is that while we access the data, we may not interrupt the signals which are receiving by the pilot, because the light above the pilot and above the passenger are not same. There is no interruption of data and signals. And it is used in the augmented reality. When a set of persons are sitting in some particular place and they are experiencing augmented reality, if one person may give data to other person, as they are under the same light, they may transfer the data very speedily. And in the military, in the navy, and underwater applications also. I don't know that whether Wi-Fi works on the underwater application, but whereas LED lights, as light may travel through water or under the water, light may travel, so we are able to receive or transmit the data, and it is also used in the cryptocurrency. And the final conclusion is, thus, if Wi-Fi technology can be put into practical use, every bulb can be used as an alternative to Wi-Fi, and hotspots uh, provided simple, faster, and efficient wireless data communication. Wi-Fi will mainly proceeds towards the cleaner, greener, safer, and brighter future. And as of now, South Korean companies are using Wi-Fi. Presently, it is still under developing stage, so as to make it available that everyone may sorry it may useful in the so that everyone may use it in mobile. And it is also under development that if we want to use the Wi-Fi in an open area, that that open area must be under the connection of LED lights. So someone are working on that. That's it from me. Thank you.
Wi-Fi actually works in dark. Okay. There is a visible spectrum of light that can go beyond the non-visible spectrum of light. So that is something that is infrared and ultraviolet. So those spectrums are actually applicable in case of dark signals. So somehow we need to stop the visible spectrum of light so that we can see how does the uh, data is transmitted. And just in case, we as tech people, we know that everything that is switched on and switched off is 0 and 1. So in case of Wi-Fi's, right, it is transmitted using frequencies with the graphs, right, the higher altitude and lower altitudes. But in case of Wi-Fi, it's directly transmitted by the receiving zeros and ones. Right? So what happens in case of Wi-Fi's, just the example you took, Ruchita, you, you were not aware that Wi-Fi does work under water or not. It cannot work under water. There is a physical difference, right? Physics and chemistry does not allow Wi-Fi to work underwater. Basically, it is because of the intensity of the molecules, right? Any radio frequency needs a free floating space for transmission. That is why we can transmit radio signals through space, not through the core of the earth. We need some other signals, like the sonar signals or other signals. Sonar is not a radio signal; it's sound, right? So that is the reason we need this kind of signals. But in case of Wi-Fi, it can actually work underwater, but to a specific range. Light can travel through any medium, right? It's ultra frequency. It can technically travel through any medium. It can travel. It takes just 8 minutes to reach Earth. So just imagine what it can do inside the Earth. So it's something very interesting. That's the technical advantage. And regarding the upgradations of our technicals to Wi-Fi, it is being worked upon. Many universities, in fact, Oxford has recently stepped in. So they are also working with it in 2017. They have given a TEDx thing where they have that was TEDx Ed. They have started working with that. And in case of, we will be seeing many companies. In fact, in states, I don't know if you are aware of it. In states, not all, certain signals, the traffic signals, they are currently being monitored by Wi-Fi signals because they have so much huge amount of traffic signals. Sometimes it is impossible for them to control. And there are some physical variations also, like just see communication speed. If we only increase, it will not work out. We need to increase our processing speed also. We need to increase our transmission speed also. We need to increase our data storing speed also. If we can if we have a 1 megabyte hard drive or maybe 100 megabytes hard drive, and we ask all of a sudden Ruchita gives us a tech that it can transport the data within in gigabytes of speed. Just imagine what will happen. It will not even take a microsecond to fill up the data, and at that rate it is going to ultimately at some point of time corrode the hard drive or the data storage device. So we need to for Wi-Fi technology to be implemented, there is a long way to go. But yeah, it is taking up very smoothly and it's speeding up. Just for your information, you might be seeing that on that more area of light, let's say 5 watt, a 5 watt bulb can actually light in a lot of space rather than a 100 watt bulb, right? It's almost the same. So LEDs can be controlled by battery very easily, and in case of a power cut, don't worry, we would not be needing that much of power to run the LED bulb, and it can actually work out very cheap. Right? If the technology is actually implemented in a few years of time, when it will be implemented, it will be much cheaper than Wi-Fi tech, because it is going to be faster first, and second thing, it is going to be cheaper, because light broadcasting technologies, if used by LED technologies, the power consumption rates will be more, will come down to at least one fifth of the current technology that is used, because it requires a lot of equipment. But in that case, it will not be requiring that. It is being used. Before the Hubble telescope will be churned out, it is going to be destroyed. It is not going to be used in a few years of time. The Hubble telescope, it is going to be dismantled before, not, it is going to be put off service after 2055, 2025. So once that Hubble telescope goes down, it had a Li-Fi signal receiver. It was installed in 2016, I guess, by some US people. They installed it, and they tried to broadcast the signals from the Earth to Hubble telescope for the data transmission, and in fact, it transmitted the data of images, the practical images from the space station very smoothly and efficiently, rather than the normal radio frequencies. Because the normal radio frequencies generally transmit data at megabytes per second. It's not even gigabytes per second. It's kilobytes or megabytes per second. It's because of the distance. You can imagine the large distance, and there is a chance of packet loss, right? Packet loss, right? There is a chance of packet loss. Yes. But in case of Li-Fi signals, there is a low chance of packet loss. But there is a problem with Li-Fi signals, that if something comes in between, then the light signal is going to be absorbed by that particle. So we have not been able to come over that. So we are working on it. I know the brilliant minds. I actually have a friend who is working with this Li-Fi technology. So there are brilliant minds in the globe who are working with this Li-Fi technology and working in the non-visible spectrum of the Li-Fi, what do you call it, the visible light, so that they can use this. So they're working on it. Don't worry. So a day will come when we'll all be having Li-Fi technologies all over. Space communication is already being used. And in fact, SpaceX is trying to give us the photo of Neowise comet. Everyone might be aware of it. The Neowise comet that is there, you get to see it just after the sun goes down in the northern sky for 15 minutes max. You can check it out. It's a comet, and it's the pictures of the Neowise comet, which has been transmitted by SpaceX. It has been transferred by Li-Fi Tech. So it's already in place. Any more queries, guys?
I have one question. How can we be part of this Li-Fi technologies in some way? Maybe 0.01. Can we start using it, or start working on it, or start exploring it, or start learning about it somewhere? Can this be? Does it seem to be a technology of the future, or it's not?
It is a big leap. It is a big leap for the future. It is actually it is going to be a very big leap, because at the rate that we are going and the servers developing, every day I can tell you, sir, we are getting around, Google puts up around 15 to 1600 servers a day. So, and almost 500 to 600 of its server goes down a day. That's a huge count, technically speaking, sir. In a world where we have not more than 1 lakh servers, there 1500 servers a day is a huge count, sir. So they're putting it up, and they're putting it down also. So Li-Fi, if comes into play, where in this kind of world, we are going to have a huge evolution, sir. Like the 5G tech that is trying. Okay, and that is under process. In fact, India is going to play a huge part in that. Thanks to the Chinese people, we are going to manufacture a lot of goods for the 5G tech. So already Apple has shifted its productions to India. So they are working on it. We can also be a part of it, sir. We can develop the tech in our way.
Good, very good presentations again. I'm happy about one thing more, that every time we have such interesting and such cutting edge technologies coming up here in our presentations. That's a wonderful achievement of InfoView, with Pranjal's efforts and all of you, one after the other. Really interesting.